All right, guys, welcome back to the Knives Fast channel. You asked for it. You asked for value from Jack Wolf, and you got it with the equal end, which is in the Gateway series. This is awesome. The Camo Carbon 80s equal end. These are dropping on Friday, the 21st of November, 2025 at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So stay tuned. Let's jump into what you're getting. And it is just absolutely crazy. So much for so little. Now, you remember, well, first of all, I've shown tons of Jack Wolf knives on the channel. And all of you always ask me, why won't he do a budget-friendly knife? And his answer was always, Ben's answer was always, I just don't want to compromise on quality and everything. And then he came out with the Gateway Barlow. Well, the Gateway Barlow was amazing value, 14C, and in this case, blue bone with a shield, steel bolsters, steel frame, the whole thing with the incredible Jack Wolf snap. And these were under $100. Well, guess what? Here we are again. And so there are a bunch of versions. We will go over them. This is the equal end, and you guys know Ben designed this knife just for me. We have a spear point blade. We have this great classic looking cigar pattern or equal end. It also reminds me of like a camp knife, like my Cub Scout camp knife or something like that. But this is right up my alley, no brainer. Okay, this is amazing, and it's in 14C with a flat ground spear point blade. You have this contoured, again, steel frame, beautifully finished. Look at that. I mean, how killer is that? Now, we do have, instead of being even here, we do have a ramp down on the handle because that's what a cigar pattern does. And you have this beautifully finished back spring. And guys, there is no compromise on the walk and talk or the action. You do have a long pull, and it just snaps. Now, can you pinch it? Absolutely. Half stop is great. Again, Jack Wolf uses a kick and not a stop pin, so you get that unique snappy sound. And you have a very nice sharpening tool. Now, guys, surprisingly so, my favorite thing, and I'm going to say something controversial here, so stand by. My favorite thing about this knife is how slicey it is. Now, everybody goes cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over hollow ground knives, but I got to tell you, a good high, or in this case, full flat ground knife can be just as slicey or maybe even more slicey than a hollow ground. And the reason I say that is you have nothing to stop it. In this case, you have a swedge or just the end of the blade. And in a hollow grind, sometimes it's ramped so much, it binds a little bit. And in this case, there's none of that. Now, hollow grinds do come down to an epic, sharp edge. But I think a flat ground can be even more slicey. And again, my total opinion, you probably shouldn't listen to me. I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. I'm just a guy out here who likes knives and doesn't really know anything. So listen to somebody else. But in the meantime, there's my opinion. But really, really good indeed. Now, this is the 80s camo carbon. You can see there all the colors. You have this beautiful shield. I forgot to ask Ben what to call this shield, but it almost looks like I don't know, like a cloud. Nah, it's not a cloud shield. I don't know what you would call that shield. I'll have to ask, but it won't be in this video. Sorry about that. Beautifully inlaid, beautifully finished. A bolster and end cap here, no seams. The pins are done, by the way, pin construction rather than screwed together. Very traditional looking, but with modern materials, which is awesome. I just absolutely love this knife. Now, there are 6 versions of these coming on, again, Friday, the 21st of November, 2025 at 2 p.m. Eastern. At all the dealers, the Jack Wolf dealers. I'll leave the link down, the list of dealers down below. Now you have ivory paper micarta for $69.99. They all have the same finish on the blade, that beautiful satin which still has some tape residue on there, but okay. You have ebony. I'm just telling you guys, I think I'm getting an ebony one for myself. They look absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I am loving that one. They're $69.99. There's a smooth red bone for $69.99 and an abalone for $74.99. This guy in front of you is $79.99. And then there is an exclusive, only at traditionalpocketknives.com for $69.99 purple G10. That is another absolutely gorgeous version. Now, you can't use codes for these, so please bear that in mind. But you're talking $69.99, $74.99, and $79.99. This one is the $79.99. Abalone $74.99, and all the other four are $69.99. Incredible value. 100%. Now, as far as specs on these, they are 3.73 inches closed with a 2.75 inch blade. The cutting edge is 2.42. Blade stock 0.10, nice and thin. Again, you can go a little bit thinner with a flat ground blade as well. 2.7 ounces. And I don't get an overall length on there, so we will give you the overall, which is just over 7.5. Yeah, right at 7.5, I would say. So really, really cool indeed. Now, let's take some of the other value Jack Wolves. Now, this is the ultralight K9. You guys know the K9 is literally one of my favorite patterns from Jack Wolf because of that fat spear point. But this one, I love that spear point. And then you've got the Gateway Barlow. Really cool. You can see it's actually the shortest of the three. It's a little bit shorter, just fractionally, not even worth talking about as far as that goes. Now, again, same deal as I said a minute ago. These are available on November 21st at 2 p.m. Eastern time. They will go fast. I think there's quite a few of these, but I also think they're going to go pretty quick, especially certain versions like the abalone or maybe the 80s here, or some of the others will go pretty quick. So definitely make sure you check them out. And use my, don't use a code. You can't use a code. What am I talking about? But I'll have links down below. Definitely check them out. So guys, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell to all. Thanks to Benny B for sending this along like all the other ones. And like I said, I'm going to try to be in line on Friday on the day these drop to get the ebony one. I always record these videos in advance, so it's always awkward to say it the wrong way. But on the day of the drop, I'm going to try to get the ebony one. So very, very cool, guys. Thank you so much for all you do for the channel, and thank you for watching the Knives Fast channel.